let's talk about tournament fatigue, right? This is something I've been wanting to say, and I think I'll add this part of it too. We'll upload all this to YouTube, bump it. The biggest issue I have is like people spamming tournaments left and right. And it's like, in some cases, and I'm gonna just be real with it. I'm not gonna pull no punches on this, right? I'm gonna be real as hell, right? Stream fam, YouTube fam, everyone's gonna be watching this. Like, you got everyone trying to be the top dog with the tournaments. You know? Hey man, I'm running tournaments. Hey man, I'm running tournaments. Smash that GG, smash that GG. Check out my tournament, check out my tournament. It's like tournament. It's like, you're not even giving yourself a chance to freaking learn the damn game. You gotta get into a tournament. You gotta show how good you are. Do you? Do you really? Are you actually improving? Right? That's what you have to ask yourself. Are you actually improving? Like, what exactly are you improving on? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what exactly are you learning? You're learning how to win, sure. But like, do you not think at some point it's somewhat discouraging for someone who just kind of started out or somewhat casual fighting games? And I don't mean, when I say casual, I don't mean beginner. I mean like, has played some fighting games to some extent and is playing in these tournaments because, well, it's free. You know? And then they go 0-2 and they're like, alright, cool. I participated.
How you doing?
But after that, no one cares.
About that.
You know?
That's all we got.
And I guess on the flip side to that is like, you got people entering multiple tournaments at a time, holding up every other tournament. It's like there's no kind of order. It's all chaotic. So it's like, it's no wonder why I don't like entering anything that's not like, I guess quote unquote big, like the Dream Hacks, the CLGs. I would enter Levo, but like, my issue is time. And I also think that in a lot of ways it's still premature. Like, so many people have been complaining about the rollback and how it works. Now, the game works great online when it works, of course, there's no question. But like, you saw what happened in the NA versus EU. Like, Punk couldn't even connect to that one dude. It's like, you can't expect this stuff to go without a hitch. Like, that's why I feel like some of these things are so premature. Like, if you want to compete, you know, do small exhibitions, and these things are cool, but like, I think fighting within the same region is still pretty smart. Like, we can try, like we tried the Japan versus USA, that worked too, but I mean, LK got hit with 275 freaking ping. 275 ping drill kicks from Chip. Who gonna react to that? And 7 frames of lag, and all the rollbacking. Who gonna react to that? Nobody. So it's like, you can't be rushing to do these things, right? I think it's premature to rush to do this because like everyone just wants to compete so badly. Like, I don't know. It just feels to me more and more like people forgot about what this shit was, and it was fun. Like, before there was tournaments, there was lots of exhibitions and casuals that you could play. And like, the tournaments are not always going to be motivating. If it's a free tournament, they're just entering just to enter. Like, the amount of times I showed y'all CLG, mad DQs. I entered DreamHack, lots of DQs. The only tournament I entered online that didn't have DQs like that was Bum. Because people were sitting there, and they entered right there on the spot. So, like, there were no... But when people enter the tournaments from, like... Let's say, like, it's a month in advance. They all enter, and then half people don't show up. It's just mad DQs across the board. Or, they're playing, but they're in another tournament and holding shit up. So they DQ themselves from holding everything up. And then that slows everything down. That slows down the stream. That slows down people's day. It's like, people are not even being considerate of that stuff. Because it's like, oh, it's free money. Alright, cool, fine. But like, there should be a limit, right? If you're entered in one event, you can't play in another one or something. This way you don't hold up the bracket, because those TOs are taking time out of their day. And same with the other TOs, and same with the other players that are part of it. So if you're holding up like winter finals or some shit like that, or like, oh, like your pool or something, it's like, think about the other guy on the other end that had other shit to do that day. Let's say he wasn't expecting to like go very far, and he does. And then like, he has to wait for like said top player to play in his other tournament, and then the other tournament, and then the other tournament after that. You've held up the entire tournament for like well over like an hour. And what is that guy supposed to do if he had something he had to do? I'll just DQ myself. And then you give the other guy a free, you know, a free pass because you had something to do that day. Like, that's like completely unfair. Like, it's just so stupid. It's like, like the tournament stacking is just ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. So it's like, they gotta do something about that. You know? Yeah, 2+ tournaments is too much. Maybe 2 at a time at most, but like, even then, like 2 running at the exact same time is terrible. Like, that's a terrible idea. The worst part about this is top players complaining about getting DQ for playing another tournament. No, fuck that. You deserve it. That's your... No. I don't care if you're fucking Justin. I don't care if you Leffen. I don't care if you Punk. I don't care if you Sonic. If you holding up the event, if I was running the event and you're holding up my event, goodbye. Losers bracket. Because you're not being mindful of other people's time. It's unfair. You gotta hold that. You don't get no fucking special privilege just because you've won multiple tournaments. No. You adhere to the rules like everyone else. No top there should be zero top player privilege. Zero. Because you're not being respectful of other people's time because you're a top player. That's bullshit. No. They don't deserve shit. They don't deserve it. It does not matter. What you're doing is you're valuing a quote unquote upper echelon versus valuing, you know, regular people or huge. It's just being a top player does not give you the right to hold anything up. And even in offline situations, I've seen that shit happen before, and I think it sucks because guess what? I've been DQ'd countless times. So it's like, no, you don't get that fucking privilege. No, you don't, and you don't deserve it. No. And one can say, oh, you're just salty because you got DQ'd. No, I've watched my friends get DQ'd online. I've watched my friends get DQ'd offline. So no. No. It's unfair. It's just bullshit. So they can hold that. But the thing about it is, right? People expect, like, you don't deserve to hold that. They do. That's what happened to me at final round one year, and I decided to never go back. And I went back on the strength of someone else, and I got disappointed in the same way again. So it's like these COs and stuff like that, they be holding stuff up for top players. It's bullshit. Like, you ain't Hollywood enough, man. I spent the same amount of money to get here. I'm spending the same amount of time to be here. If I woke up early and you came late, no, you don't deserve a second chance. Your second chance is losers bracket, not a second chance in winners bracket. I think it's just unfair for the average person who goes to these events. It's not being fair. But moving forward, regardless, right? People can say whatever they want. I think they have to be fair, right? At the end of the day. So it is what it is. People can get mad at me and say whatever the hell they want, but I think it's not fair, period. I've been playing in tournaments long before half these people, and I've watched DQs happen left and right. Man, don't get me started about being from Texas and getting DQ'd in freaking West Coast tournaments. Don't get me started. Not get me started on shit like that. Tournament spam and fatigue is a thing. And I think people aren't acknowledging that. They're just thinking, oh, enter the next one. It's alright. It's like, it's amazing how people are spamming and joining all these tournaments so much, and yet you constantly see tweets about mental health and mental health and mental health in tournaments. But it's like you're entering a tournament every 2 days. Like every day you're in a tournament. So what's the deal here? You know? Like, are you going to practice what you preach, or are you just going to, you know, just be a bunch of hot air? And I feel like that's kind of where it's at right now. It's like, what are you doing? It just doesn't make sense. So, I mean, that aside, my hope is that moving forward after Evo, people slow down and stop doing like, and you know, I don't want to make it seem like I'm shitting on the people who make the tournament series, right? Like, there's a lot of love for like Yipes and all these other people, Spooky, who do their normal do, you know, it's fine. But I mean, it's like, at the same time, I feel like there should be some kind of like spacing out of these events to give players more room to breathe. Now, granted, I know on one front, it's like, well, they don't have to enter, these events can still run. I get it. But I feel like if people work together a bit more to keep it organized, there's a good tournament calendar that where people aren't stepping on each other's toes, and you can have every event get supported, you know? Like I said before, if people keep that, like, I want to be the top dog mentality with the TOing stuff, it's like, I get it, but, you know, with organization, you can have a good circuit. You can have many, many things. But, like, there's, that stuff is, like, in hindsight, you know? It's like, well, whatever. No, just run a tournament series. I get it, but imagine if like everyone worked together, right, to support the overall thing, right? Because people always talk about FGC, like, well, we support FGC. Yeah, cool. So that means that like the tournament should be supporting each other, right? So tournament should be like go here and go play there and go play here and go play there, right? If every event is supported, then the scene will grow and things will move forward, and there will be a lot more clarity on when things are happening, right? But if they don't even want to do that much, then you're always going to see like 5 tournaments in a single day. So I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll just see how shit goes, man. Like, listen, when it comes to Strive, man, don't rush. A, don't rush your progress. You know, B, you don't have to be in a hurry for tournament results. C, you don't have to follow the crowd. If you don't like the game, don't play. You know, you don't have to follow it just because it has good online.